NCBA is a grassroots organization led by producers who volunteer their time and effort to ensure the beef business remains strong and sustainable. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Matt Fleck has more on one Florida cattleman whose family has a long history of service to our industry.
Marty Smith has deep ties to this part of north central Florida. The Smith brothers operation has been in his family for more than 150 years, and Marty is the fifth generation to live and work on this land.
This ranch has been in my family since 1850. My family first came here, the ancestors came here from South Carolina, settled this area, and this part of Florida has had cattle on it dating back to around 1521 when Ponce de Leon first came here. So we've had cattle on this property for over almost now 500 years.
The Smith family's long history in the Sunshine State is also on display at this little one-room church on their property. It was built in 1852 by Marty's great-grandfather and is one of the oldest Methodist churches in Florida.
He sawed the lumber from his own trees. He cut the trees down, sawed the lumber. He built the building. He built the pews. It was just one of those things that he wanted to do, and he did. He built a new church building there. We still use that church. We have annual and semi-annual services there, and we invite all of the community to come worship with us. We also have the cemetery. It dates also back to the 1850s, and we keep that up. And it's not just our family, but I guess our family is the one that's kept it going all these years.
Smith Brothers is a cow-calf operation that retains ownership through feedlots in Texas, Kansas, and Iowa. Marty and his family are proud of the Brahmin-influenced cattle they raise and the high-quality beef they produce for consumers.
They adapt very well to the heat, to the humidity, and to the insects, and they just fit this country. That's part of the history of Florida, part of what we still do. However, probably the biggest thing that people don't realize is the quality type beef that we can produce still using those Brahmin genetics. And that's something we're very proud of here, that we've been able to really do and do well. Raise Brahmin cross cattle that do very well in the feed yards in Texas, but also in Kansas, Iowa, all through the country.
Properly managing their operations' resources has always been a priority for the Smith family, and one of the main reasons they've been able to stay in business for so long.
We're progressive because we have to be. When you're in a state with over now approaching 20 million people and limited land and limited water, even though we get 60 inches of rain, we still don't have water supply to necessarily take care of everybody's demands. Facing those challenges and remaining in production agriculture, whether it's cattle or farming or anything, is just a huge challenge in today's world. In order to meet that challenge, those of us that choose to stay and do this as opposed to selling out to developers, you got to be progressive. If you're not taking every advantage that you can, if you're not doing the very best job that you can do, you're not going to last here.
Beef industry advocacy is not new to the Smith family. Marty's mom, Joanne, was the first female president of the National Cattlemen Association and played a key role in developing the beef checkoff program. As for Marty, he's a past president of the Florida Cattlemen's Association and has served in multiple leadership roles with NCBA.
It was one of those things where we got called on to do a job, we agreed to do it when we enjoyed doing it. We felt like we were able to contribute something back to our community, but to our industry. So it's been a long involvement, something I've enjoyed very much. Most of all, enjoy the people that I've got to meet from all over the country and learn so much about not only the cattle industry, but just the greatest people in the world.
Marty is a believer in the value of cattlemen joining together and knows that NCBA can play an important role in unifying the beef industry.
The opportunity is there. I want to convince people that this is a good place for them to spend their volunteer time, that we are able to really do some great things, both in Washington, but also throughout the world with promoting beef and protecting the economic and financial interest of cattle producers everywhere.
From Wacahootie, Florida, I'm Matt Fleck, reporting for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.